Hello, and welcome to The View from North Fulton. I'm Fulton County District 3 Commissioner Liz Hausman. The theme of today's show is the charitable safety net in our community, and specifically those in the North Fulton area. My first guest today will be Tom Capitano. He is the District 3 and 4 Administrator with the Fulton County Housing and Human Services Department, Office of Grants and Community Partnerships. He has the knowledge of the charities in the North Fulton area and is going to share with us information on the Fulton County grant programs for these agencies and the types of services offered by these agencies. Later in the show, we will visit with the director of one of the largest safety net charities in North Fulton, Barbara Duffy, Executive Director of the North Fulton Community Charities, will be with us to provide a glimpse of the wide array of programs and services offered to those in need in our community. If you are in need of services, know someone that is, or want to volunteer or give back to those in the community that are having a tough time right now, there should be something in today's program for you. So, don't go away. Welcome back. Our first guest today is Tom Capitano, District 3 and 4 Administrator with the Fulton County Housing and Human Services Department, Office of Grants and Community Partnerships. Welcome to The View from North Fulton, Tom.
Thank you
for being here today. So, can you tell our viewers, what does a District Administrator do?
Sure. District Administrators administer the Fresh and Human Services grant programs. We serve as liaisons with Fulton County Commission districts. And we are a unique role in the county in that we gather trends and needs of communities within Fulton County as a result of administering our grant program and attending community meetings and events throughout the commission districts of Fulton County.
So there's two different types of grants, right? There's
Correct.
the fresh grants and there's the human services grants.
Correct.
Could you tell us the difference?
Sure. Well, a little history about the grant programs. The Fresh and Human Services grant programs are supported and funded through the Board of Commissioners. The Fresh grant was established in 1995 to expand and enhance services to youth of Fulton County aged 0 to 21. There's approximately $1.85 million of funding that is equally distributed among the 5 geographic commission districts of Fulton County. So that equates to about $370,000 per district. The Human Services Grant Program was established in 1989. This program is also to serve citizens of Fulton County, but it's more for specific categories of services of all Fulton County. It includes aging, there's disability, employment, HIV and AIDS, homelessness and housing, and youth and families. There's approximately $2.146 million in funds for the Human Services Grant Program, and unlike the Fresh Grant Program, it is not distributed among each commission district. It's just one full pot of funds that serves all of Fulton County. So that's the history of the grants program. Agencies can apply for funding for either program, and there's contact information if an agency or individual is interested in looking at or requesting funds from the program. You can contact our office, the Office of Grants and Community Partnerships, by contacting us through email, hsd.grants@fultoncountyga.gov, or through the telephone, which is 404-613-7944.
So both of the grant programs serve human needs. They're just administered a little differently. Some are just for district grants,
right,
and others are countywide grants.
Correct. And of course, the main difference is Fresh is specifically for youth and families, age 0 to 21. The Human Services includes youth and families, but it also has the other categories of HIV, senior services, employment. So that's another main difference.
Okay. And then how are the funding decisions made for these grants?
Well, individuals from within the community are selected to review and score the applications. Funding is determined on 3 main factors. One is the application score, the other is the amount of funds requested within a particular application, and the third is the amount of funding available for that overall pool of funds. All those factors are kind of contributed to the overall funding recommendation of an application. The funding packet of funded recommendations is forwarded to the Board of Commissioners for final review and action.
And what's the time of year that these grant applications are due?
Typically, this past year, they were due around mid to late February. There's an announcement either late December or sometime in January. It depends on when the time cycle, this is typically the schedule we use, so they're typically due in mid-February.
And the county will hold an information session?
Correct. We hold, in North, we hold 2 grant technical workshop sessions, 2 in North Fulton, 2 in Center Fulton County, and 2 in South Fulton. We try to vary the time of day, so we may have 1 in the afternoon and 1 in the morning in North, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the morning in Central, and so forth throughout the county. So we make sure plenty of opportunity to attend the workshop so they can understand the process, the eligibility requirements, and everything that you need to hopefully produce a successful application to the grant program.
Well, and speaking of that, I mean, I know that there are definitely certain criteria that must be met.
Right.
So at these workshops, that's fully explained so that
Correct.
the applicants understand that they can't select which parts to fill in. It has to be complete.
Right. It's all or none pretty much. I mean, we have several items that are required to be submitted. All items are required to be submitted. So they definitely want to attend these meetings just to make sure, cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure everything is exactly the way the grant program requires. Unfortunately, if anything's missing or incomplete, we cannot advance those applications for review.
Yes, and I know that the need's so critical these days
Right.
with the economy that
Right.
These agencies are really dependent on funding from Fulton County in order
Exactly.
to continue. Well, let's talk a little bit about what is actually funded here in North Fulton. What services are the fresh grants and the human grants funding here in North Fulton?
Okay, well, we have a variety of services throughout North Fulton. I'm just going to highlight a few. We have an agency, North Metro Miracle League. They provide services to children
Yes,
with
great
special needs.
organization.
They have 2 summer camp programs, an after-school fitness clinic, and they're just starting a new program, PRISM, for teens with special needs. It's like an employment service program. So that's specifically for North Fulton. We have an agency funded through the Human Services Grant Program. They fund all of Fulton County, including North Fulton. That's the Center for Visually Impaired. They provide various tools and techniques for individuals with low vision challenges. It's a great program. It's a great agency. Been partnering with us for a while. We have a variety of services for after-school programs and summer camp. We have the North Fulton Child Development Association. They're NACE accredited and provide pre-K services for families in North Fulton at affordable rates. We have a specific program for a targeted population, Star House Foundation. They have an after-school program and summer programs for elementary age and middle school age. And for those individuals who really enjoy the outdoors, is a fantastic program through the Chattahoochee Nature Center, Camp Kingfisher. It's centered around one of the key landmarks of North Fulton, the Chattahoochee River. It's a fantastic program. It's outdoors, so it's a great program for kids who enjoy the outdoors. All these programs and services are offered depending on the program, either at a reduced rate or free of charge, depending on a family's needs and depending on the agency and program.
So the need is considered based on their income?
Typically it's based on income, correct. A key indicator is free and reduced lunch. If a family or if a child receives free and reduced lunch through the school systems, that's a pretty key indicator of a family being in need of financial assistance.
Now the programs you mentioned, are they primarily fresh grants?
Some of them are fresh, primarily fresh. Some of them are the Human Services Grant programs. That's the good thing. The great thing about the programs is some agencies apply for one, another agency may apply for the other, but together they kind of cross-serve the community based on their funds and the needs within the community. So it's a fantastic program.
Well, tell me a little bit about the housing needs in North Fulton as well.
We have several agencies providing services to meet the needs of housing within North Fulton. North Fulton Housing Initiative, or Homestretch, they provide transitional housing for families who are homeless, and they receive grant funds to assist with the youth components called Youth Life Skills. So they have the services for the adults who are really the ones who are needing the employment and the housing counseling, but the youth, they realize the youth are going through this as well, so they provide that base foundation of support for the youth. We have a really great, it's a very unique program called North Fulton Initiative, Stand Up for Kids, North Fulton Initiative. They provide financial and social support for high school teens who are living from couch to couch to couch. They are truly homeless. It's called couch surfing.
Wow.
And they provide that needed support to ensure that they at least graduate and can hopefully open some doors to college if they open their eyes and push themselves. We have another agency, Mary Hall Freedom House. They provide services for women and women with children to break cycles of addiction, addictive diseases, poverty, and homelessness.
Wow. And then there's a lot of senior programs that your office also administers grants funding for. Can you tell us about those?
Well, the primary service provider for seniors is the Senior Services North Fulton. They're one of our partnering agencies. They really have quite a variety of services that they offer to the seniors in North Fulton. One of them is the Meals on Wheels, which they utilize volunteers to deliver meals to the seniors' homes. There's a program called TOPS. It's the Transportation Options Program. It's a program that provides transportation to and from various medical appointments that a senior may not be able to, drive on their own. So it's a great service, and they provide various in-home services like respite care for caregivers of seniors, or light in-home housekeeping and other various programs. It's a great service.
And so while the county does support these agencies, they obviously can't make it just on county funds alone.
Correct.
If someone wants to get involved with one of these agencies, how would they do that?
Well, we have a directory. A lot of these agencies rely on volunteers. I mean, every time I conduct a site visit, the volunteer power is amazing through these nonprofit communities. And of course, they rely on donations and support from the community. So we have a full directory of all the nonprofit agencies that are funded through the grants program, and that could easily be found on the Housing and Human Services Department website, which is www.fultonhousinghumanservices.org. They could download the directory, and there's a list of every contact information, phone number, email address, and I'm sure they would be delighted to hear from the community.
Wonderful. We're almost out of time, but I have to ask you one final question. The need. What are you seeing out there right now with the level of need?
Well, I'm fortunate that I actually work in the district, so my office is within the district, and it's within the North Fulton Service Center, which is it's called Common Ground.
Yes.
And we see daily housing needs and unemployment needs are increasing. I've been in that service center for 2 years, and it's like the traffic flow of individuals seeking housing needs and unemployment services is very high. So that's something that I definitely have noticed over the last 2 years.
Well, thank you so much for what you're doing.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you for coming today
Thank you.
and sharing with our audience, the services that are offered in North Fulton, and sharing the need, because it's real. It's real. So please stay with us. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. Joining us now is Barbara Duffy, Executive Director of the North Fulton Community Charities. Welcome, Barbara, to The View from North Fulton. Thank you for being here today. You have a very large agency.
Yes.
Could you please give us a brief overview of the services that you offer?
I'd be happy to. 25 years ago,
Wow.
a group of from our faith community got together to create a central place where coordinated services could be provided for families in need in our community. Today we are well over 60 faith communities, businesses, all the businesses, civic groups, and individuals together working to be that spot where families who have a financial need or in need of food can go and find the service. Volunteer driven. We have a food pantry that serves over 100 families every day. Our financial assistance. Last year we did $1.2 million in direct assistance, paying the rent, putting gas in the car, MARTA passes,
Wow.
etc., to keep a family going when something has happened.
Well, you also have a thrift shop?
We do. We have a thrift shop that does double duty. It's open to the public. We want everyone to come. And the money that is generated there helps with our overhead. At the same time, the families that we serve use vouchers and can shop without paying. So it provides a good service.
And you just recently expanded across the street from your
We're very
location.
very proud to have opened our education center and be able to expand the number of educational classes that we offer. We have teaching English language. We have a big GED tutoring program.
Fabulous.
Job coaching, job skills classes, money management classes, all kinds of classes that are needed for families that need a leg up, need to decide, okay, what am I going to do now to get things back on track?
And you're located in Roswell?
We are, and we serve north of the Chattahoochee River, Roswell, Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Milton, and Mountain Park.
And you're on, is it Hembry Road?
It's on Elkins Road.
Elkins Road.
Elkins Road, right off of Alpharetta Highway.
Right.
Fairly central to the community that we serve.
Well, very good, very good. Well, you know, we've talked a little bit in our previous segment about the need.
Yes.
And I just want to know from your perspective, what are you seeing out there?
Well, from the beginning of the recession back in 2008, we have seen about 30% increase in the
Wow.
number of families that we see. We're seeing over 5,000 families in a year. And the other difference is that we're seeing them for a longer period of time. As those that are out of work, it takes longer to recover.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen some of our previous donors, previous volunteers come back for services as their individual family situation has changed. So
Yes.
it's a different mix of families in need and many families with much more need than before.
Yes, times are definitely different today, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, what is your biggest challenge at the NFCC?
The biggest challenge we have is that it's very easy to live in our community and not see the kind of need that comes to our door every day. It's a hidden need. It's families that are holed up in the weekly hotels or spent last night in the car or are hanging on by their teeth, paying eviction fees and all kinds of extra fees when things get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But most people do not see that level of need. And when I get to work in the morning and there's a line of 25 families waiting for services, it comes home real fast that our community has a level of need, and we need our community to be there for us.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, Fulton County has partnered with you for a
True.
very long time.
True.
Can you tell us about that partnership?
Yes, we have been part of the Human Service Grant Program for many years, and that program, the funds that we receive from Fulton County, we use to support our caseworkers, who are those who meet directly with the families in need, and provide the overall comprehensive services that are available. Create a plan for each of the families to recover. What that means is that we can go to our own community and say, we have our own expenses covered with the grant money plus the money from our thrift shop. So if the community will donate money, 100% of those dollars will be used to directly assist those families that are in need. We also have received some federal money through the block grant program.
Good.
And we have used that to do some major renovations on the building, our center that we have. So we have a new roof and we have air conditioning, and we're very grateful for those things.
So, are there homeless people in North Fulton County?
There are. It, again, is a hidden population, but we have families that have been in weekly hotels for months and even longer with children in a one-room hotel room. And we have families that have moved in with other families so they have a place to stay. And two families in a two-bedroom apartment is not a good situation long term.
So would you say the face of the homeless has changed in the last few years?
It has. It's no longer just the entry-level families that move from one job to another. It's formerly middle-class families who have fallen on hard times and are facing eviction, facing foreclosure, and trying their best to hang on, find work. We see a lot of families who are underemployed, have put together a couple of part-time jobs trying to make it, have taken employment at much lower level than they previously had, and that adjustment in a family budget is very difficult.
Yeah, their obligations don't necessarily go away
Right.
with their income.
Right.
Right. Well, there's a good base of nonprofit agencies in North Fulton. You are one of the largest. Can you talk a little bit about how you coordinate some of your services with the other agencies, and do you see that there's any duplication of services?
Thank you. That's a good question. It's the families that we see don't have just one need. The family that is in financial trouble may also need mentoring for the children. They may need affordable daycare. They may need, heaven forbid, housing services. If we are not able to keep them going in their own apartment and they do become homeless, they may need transitional housing or whatever. So while there are other agencies in our community, we work very closely together. We meet regularly to share information and support each other. And even in those instances where the same kind of service is being provided, say as an after-school program for children, there are waiting lists at absolutely every agency. And if there's a waiting list, it's not duplicating services.
Right, right. Well, I would imagine there's also unmet needs.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Well, traditionally, North Fulton has not had the kind of housing, emergency housing that other parts of our county has had. There is no places for a homeless intact family with two parents. Currently, there is a program coming together called Family Promise, which we hope will fill that need. There is no place for the program that Tom Capitano talked about for homeless teenagers that are still in school. These are emancipated minors. They are not connected to their families still, and they need housing so that they're not couch surfing from one place to another. There's a
So they graduate.
Yes, right. And there's a growing need for affordable housing for seniors. We're all going to be seniors someday, and
yeah.
and the housing in North Fulton is expensive. And as those of us who approach those years know, we're going to need more housing that is affordable for our parents and ourselves.
Well, there are still some people in our community that can help. And they want to help. And if they would like to get involved, how would they go about doing that?
Well, none of the agencies would be there without the support of our community.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the blessings of the Fulton County piece, because the Fulton County can demonstrate to the community that this is a program that's worthwhile supporting, because the very grant process that we go through is comprehensive. We have site visits and reports that we must submit to prove not just that we are in business, and not just what we have done with the funds, but what difference did it make? Did it really help those families that we say we're trying to help? And how do you know that? And those are difficult things to do and require a good bit of reporting and data collection, et cetera. But all of us need the community support. We need the volunteers. We need the donations from our faith partners, our business partners, individual families. And the opportunities are so great in our community. If you want to work with teens, if you want to work with adults, if you can tutor a student to learn their GED, there's all kinds of programs that are dependent on volunteers. And I often tell people, if you want to see a different side of our community, walk in our door and you will see the level of need that's there, and you will find a place that you will fit, if it's not in our agency, in one of the other agencies.
Yes, absolutely. And then you have a fundraising event coming up shortly. Can't let you get out of here without
We just finished a golf tournament that was quite successful. Good. And we have a family fun run in September on the Saturday after Labor Day.
Where is that going to be?
It's at Elkins, Elkins Park, Elkins Middle School. I think that's where it starts, right down the street from our agency. And it's just a 5K, but it's family friendly, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a good opportunity to come out and support our agency.
Well, Barbara, thank you again for being here. Thank you for all you do for our community.
Thank you.
You are really providing a safety net.
Thank you very much.
Really are, and we appreciate it.
Very much.
And please stay tuned for my closing thoughts. I would like to thank my guests, Barbara Duffy and Tom Capitano, for visiting us on our show today. Their insight and knowledge of the giving of the North Fulton community is heartwarming and should not go unnoticed. As you have heard today, there are many, many people in North Fulton that find themselves in need of help. Fulton County has long supported this effort, and I encourage you all to get involved, give back to our community, and volunteer to help out others in need. North Fulton Community Charities is an organization that is always looking for help. You can donate or volunteer by going to their website at nfcchelp.org or by calling 770-640-0399. They are dedicated to helping the North Fulton community, and their track record shows just that. This is just one of the safety net agencies in North Fulton. There are many others. As the economy has declined, the need is greater than ever, and many of them could not continue without the support that they receive from Fulton County. If you would like information on NFCC or other agencies in North Fulton, please contact the Fulton County Housing and Human Services Department for more information, or you can visit www.fultonhousinghumanservices.org. They are dedicated to providing services to any and all age groups. These organizations exemplify charitable success. They are the cornerstones of North Fulton's volunteer and donation community and a safety net for a growing group that has fallen upon hard times in this economy. Once again, I urge us all to get out and volunteer our services one way or another. You can donate money, clothes, food, or time to any of these charities previously mentioned. Even in these very trying times, we are a community that is dedicated to providing philanthropy to the needy, and a good portion of that is provided with your Fulton County tax dollars. That's my view. What's yours? You can contact me at my District 3 office at 404-612-8213 or reach me via email at liz.houseman@fultoncountyga.gov and Facebook and Twitter. And that's my time for today. Thank you so much for yours. I'm Commissioner Liz Houseman, and we'll see you next time on The View from North Fulton.